Alright, very first shots with my new camera here. So bear with me on figuring it out. I'm sure the audio still sucks. We got a microphone coming. But until then, hoping this looks a lot better and a lot easier for me to work with. So I just wanted to take a quick minute while we're still on somewhat of a Toyota mode here and just talk about my experience with this door plug for the rear doors. Talk about overkill. Can't imagine any time the door is under enough stress where you would need this plug. But anyway, it had 3 prongs, one that sits right here in this little flat area, and then it's got this one on each side here. This one, as you can see, is kind of busted. It was such a pain to get off. I had to get in there with a little tiny pry tool. Now I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, here's my pile of Toyota parts that just keeps growing and growing. And here's the other end of that plug. Now, while it was still in, it's tucked into this pillar. How big of a pain it was to get that thing out of there. It took a while, so I've got the time lapse to prove it, and maybe someone's out there laughing at me because they have some kind of special tool or something, but yeah, getting in there and getting those out, getting those doors off, that was not easy. So, hey, if someone's got a trick that I don't know about, post it up. Let's hear it. Anyway, roll the time lapse. So my dad decided he wanted to come over and give me a hand at tearing this thing apart. Now, I didn't turn on the camera for us working on that passenger side for the first little bit, but it did take a while. And I've cut out a lot of the time we spent over here on the driver's side as well. It was just such a task. I'm sure we could have got it off a lot faster if we didn't care about breaking the plug, but at this point it became kind of just a principle just to get the thing off without breaking it, just to see if we could. I don't know if it's possible. We ended up breaking one of the little tabs on each side, so I don't know what Toyota was doing there. Anyway, enough of that rant. Thanks, Dad, for your help. Hold that back up so like it's kind of a funky setup. I'll throw that in the video real quick. Alright, you guys don't even know. Building the Bronco is dangerous work. So this is over at my mom's house, and this Bronco's been sitting over here for years. And you know, obviously that's what this YouTube channel is about. It's kind of the first hint of what I'm doing, because I am getting to that point. I just came out here and popped the hood. I was right on top of that. Oh man. And they're moving fast on that thing. Saw one going through the door too. Not much left in it. Better make it count. So this is just me goofing around. I left this in here because it's kind of impressive. I opened up the door just to kind of check for, you know, more nests in there, and just goofing off, ended up messing around with the window a little bit. It did take some work for a second, but I was really impressed. I got the thing to roll down and back up, so that was kind of brave of me just to mess with it anyway. But yeah, that was kind of fun. They don't make things like they used to. Alright, so this was just for fun, to see where I was going to end up and see if I'm crazy or not. And I eyeballed it. No, it's not perfect, just trying to get an idea. I got some really quick rough measurements off the Bronco. Eyeballing it again. None of this is perfect. But I pulled a front fender on the Broncos around 53 inches to the door seam. You know, I just had the door closed, door seam. I come up, and to my mind, I see that landed right around here. That'll work, right? Okay. So then you got 39 inches more on to add on to the door. And that takes us to 92. From my eyeball, I see that landing right around here, right about where the door seal is on this one, just outside of the catch. So I'm feeling really good about that, because so far the best plan I've come up with is to try and leave this pillar as much as possible and run a tube on the inside and cut this out and weld in a Bronco one. Just buy a new one. I know those are tough to kind of fit up, but it'll be better than the rusted one I've got. And yeah, why not? So there, without adding the other rear door, just for fun, which is 148, which is not even to the back of the gas tank on the Tundra. That would be the back of the Bronco. But we're going to add a whole door, and that measurement comes up to 117. Okay, now I wrote 25 inches down on the rear Tundra door, and a rear Tundra door is definitely wider than that. I'm hoping I can cut it down. That's my hope. Now, that puts me at 117. That puts me right around. I'm okay with that. Squeeze in, and then you'll still have the double cab seat that was there before and all the room you had before. What happens when we add the 56 from the rear fender? 173. Whew. Puts me right around there. I'm gonna pull this off. Okay, and once again, on the other side as well, packed full of leaves and mud and all kinds of nastiness in there. Some massive spider gonna jump out at me. Yeah, that's not a fluke on the other side, guys. There's a lot of garbage up in there. I think I'm joking. Tundra owners beware. You know, I remember watching a review or someone or somewhere on YouTube talking about the doors and how well they were designed compared to Ford, where all the water could run all the way out. Well, this is disappointment, because that's terrible. A lot of junk in there. And how long would that sit in there unless you go to all the trouble to pull this liner and everything out, which was a real pain. I mean, what's up with those stupid clips? I just ended up ripping them out. but I don't care about them if you're trying to do that on a regular basis and clean that out. And you'd be better off cutting a hole, like a square hole in the bottom of your fender right here, and hitting it with some black or something to hide it, because I don't know how else you'd ever get in there. Look how high it had built up in there, just chilling, rusting. Look, there was stuff. You can see where the splatter marks make it through the liner. That's probably where stuff's coming up and then finding its way down here with water. Nasty. Maybe if I smile. There it goes. The video that you are watching right now is the reason it's taking so long to put out another video. I got this fancy new camera, and now I got to figure out how to get everything off of it, so I can keep recording with it and view everything. It looks really nice and sharp on the camera screen, but I can't get it off. So I have some more stuff coming in the mail, and of course we still have a mic coming, a couple other things to hopefully make this better. So in the meantime, we're gonna keep going, keep filming. I got a big mess in here. Not a big mess, but encroaching on my space. I'm getting a bunch of stuff done though. And, hey, I got a subscriber. I got one. So whoever you are, you're awesome. You rule. You're the first. Hopefully a bunch of other people end up coming across this later, and I have some other projects down the road, and I can get better at this and make something worth watching here. But I don't know. Find out. But I got one. I got somebody. They're either a sucker or they're cool. Only time will tell. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. I finally figured out how to get stuff off of this camera, so I actually have a little bit more footage built up that hasn't quite made it to editing yet. I'm still editing on my iPhone and iMovie, and they're stupid, so I can only do 15-minute shots, well, easily at least. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this video short here, and we're just going to edit everything later and make a second video to kind of catch everyone up. I actually have gotten a little further. The headliner and stuff is out. One thing I need to do is reach out to my one subscriber, because in the next video I am trying to figure out my wheelbase. I think I finally landed on a number, and we're just going to have to do what we can do anyway when it comes to cutting out the frames. So we'll let you in on what I'm thinking on the next video for cutting the frame, and we're getting pretty close to doing that. So stay tuned, and what do you got to lose by subscribing? Watch me cut this Tundra up, turn it into a Bronco. It'll be fun.